Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a wee walkthrough of the Clair de Lune Lenormand by TOURIAN. Okay guys, so first and foremost let's do a quick flip through of the cards. I'm actually going to zoom it in like this so that we can get a right good look at them. Um, so first of all we have the rider. I'm not sure whether that's clear or not, to be honest with you. Don't know whether I'm just seeing it pixelated on my screen or if it's not the best quality. See, that looks better like that. So the rider. So you can see right away this art style is very kind of in terms of colour, it's quite minimalist. It's obviously on a black background and it's kind of a lighter colours that are used for the line work. It's absolutely stunning. So it is. It's very shadowy. Um, Clover. The boat. We have the boat instead of the ship in this, but it does the same job, doesn't it? Absolutely stunning boat. Look at the water as well. Look at the way that the water is drawn. It's just beautiful. We have the house. This looks quite like a haunted house, doesn't it? The tree. I love how it's all gnarly and twisted and stuff. I think that works really well. Clouds. And you can see that we have the darker side of the clouds moving into the lighter side. We do have a person there, but you know it's quite difficult to to pick up on. The clouds is definitely the focal point of the card. The snake. It's very twisty and windy, and I like to read the snake card as complexity. Um, so this definitely does the job there for me. Oops, why are they moving of their own accord? I was only joking when I said they looked haunted. Coffin. You see the coffin in the ground. Again, absolutely stunning. The bouquet. Scythe. And the scythe is actually cut and grain in this one. So we see that kind of the hard work and reaping, the harvest. The whip. Birds. The child. It's really nice. The kid on the swing. Fox. Really cute fox. Just because of the art style, because it's like very much line work. It's the detail on this fox. You can really see it, make out all of the hairs and the whiskers and stuff. It just looks really kind of cool. Bear, and again, it's the same with the bear. That the hairs and just the detail on it is stunning. star, the stork. See the stork in flight. So the stork is a card about, movement and, progressive, quick movement at that. So it's quite cool to see it moving in flight. The dog, and I love that we see this hand petting the dog. You can really kind of pick up on that connection. Tower, really tall tower that we have here. Just nice for that. Reading the card as getting perspective. Taking a moment of pause to really scout out the road ahead, get some perspective on the situation. Garden. It's a very secret garden, isn't it? The mountain. Crossroads. So we get the choice of which path to take. And they're separated by these dense woods. Really, really nice. Just tidy them up a bit. Even though they're not going to stay that way. Mice. So we actually see the mice in the act of eating away at food. So we really get this again. We really kind of quite easily get the idea of the detrimental effect of the mice. You know, the eating away at something, the reduction, the heart. We have this heart-shaped locket. The detail on it is stunning. I'm saying that quite a lot, aren't I? The ring, book. I think I'd said when I unboxed this, it looks like an old book full of knowledge and secrets and stuff. Really, really cool. The letter, wax sealed envelope. So we have two man cards. So here's man one and man two. Now these are the two cards that I'm using in the deck. There are, of course, also two women cards. So I've got, well, I suppose this would be women one, and then women two. Now I don't tend when I'm reading to use directionality of the people cards, so it doesn't bother me that um, they're not facing each other. Um, but yeah, that's just something to know if you are going to use these with two men cards or the two women cards. Um, the directionality might be an issue for you. Lily, word that I always struggle to say. And we really see the stigma and the stamen here. So if you read this card as like maturity or to do with, sex and maturity, that kind of a thing, you can get that from um, from those parts of the flower. The sun, beautiful sun. It reminds me of actually of the sun in one of Anna's other decks, the Tarot of the Abyss. Just the way that the sun is drawn and all of the rays coming off of it. The moon, absolutely stunning moon. This might be my favourite card in the deck. I just love I love the way the moon is drawn. I love the water, the way that it reflects in the water. I think it's just really, really well done. Key, fish, anchor, and the cross. So those are the cards. These are the backs. So not reversible, but that's not a big deal in Lenormand because we don't really use reversals in Lenormand. Card stock is perfect. Um, Great for riffle shuffling. Let's just give them a wee shuffle just now. Um, so they've got enough, malleability, pliancy. I'm not sure what the right word is to be able to riffle them. And of course they overhand quite nicely as well. Just because they're that kind of a size. Speaking of size, what should I compare it to? Compare them to a playing card, standard kind of a playing card size, just so that you get to see. So we're looking at about the same height. Um, the the Lenormand card might actually just be a smidge, like as in a hair taller. In fact, there you can see it. But you know, thinner, less broad. Okay. I'll pause this, give them a right good shuffle, fiddle about with the camera, and then we'll come back and we'll lay them out in some sort of spread. So we're back. I decided to actually lay out the grand tableau, and thank goodness I did because this took me a lot longer than what it should have done, but that's okay. I've done the best I could with the camera angle. I know that it looks like we're kind of about to slide off the table. I think it's just the way my phone's sitting. So this is what they look like all laid out in a grand tableau. I'm not going to go way in depth with this, but let's just take a quick nosy at it to see what we see. So for the kind of a, right away, the kind of a starter for 10 message, you've got the first three cards here. So we've got the fish, the clouds, and the rider. So this suggests that there's some sort of flow of negativity coming in, or incoming into the situation, being injected into the situation. So that's not exactly great to hear. When we look at the corners, we get the fish, which talks about flow and can often mean finances, and so the fish in the sun, so flow of happiness or, positive financial situation. And then the snake in the letter, so it's becoming more complicated. There's something happening, there's something being brought into materialization, that's perhaps complicating the financial situation, and that could explain the cards that we see here. Um, the essence is the four that are dead center. So we have the garden, the mice, the key, and the scythe. So let's see. So for the garden, we've got some sort of social situation. The but the house is the kind of a private dwelling space. The garden is the opposite. That's the more kind of the social place, the public place. When we're looking at work, it's generally, for me, looking at work, the home versus the garden as, my home as in my working from home situation versus my office. Um, but there's some sort of public space, something's been, some sort of social or networking situation has been eaten away at. So there's perhaps some communication issues. And then we've got the key as like, the can be read literally is the almost literally is the key, it's the answer, it's um, the way forward. Um, and that's kind of a being cut away at. That's been taken away in order to harvest it for something else. So um, I should have said that when I read this, I read the kind of a out-facing character as myself, and the side-facing one as the other person who's significant in the situation. So I'm right down at the bottom here, so that would suggest that it's not telling us a lot about what's going on beneath the surface, but there certainly is a lot happening on my mind at the moment. We've got the fox, so perhaps some deviancy, or maybe it's just about being clever, being brought to an end, and we're looking in the realm of the tree, in the realm of well-being. Okay, so having to kind of, I think, just be crafty and be clever and think outside the box about how we're approaching our, well-being. Um, and then here in the past, we've got the letter, so that's, some sort of message or, something being, it's like when you put pen to paper, it's something being brought into physical reality. Um, so some sort of decision about how we're doing that, and then the clover is like something we need to look out for. So anyway, I'm kind of getting a bit carried away here. So the purpose of this was just to kind of show the cards laid out, um, and you can see how they look together. So I think they look really nice. You do have to concentrate, I will say that. You have to kind of look. If I know that I'm looking for a particular card, I suppose once I'm used to it, it would be quite easy actually. But it's not like, you know, it's immediately obvious where the key is, do you know what I mean? Or it's immediately obvious where the house is. You kind of need to look for them for a bit, I think, until you maybe get used to the deck, just because they are that more subtle style of art, I think, but absolutely stunning nonetheless. And I'm glad that I've now got this deck. Let me just move this back to, let me see. Yeah, you can still kind of see them there. Um, so yeah, I hope that you've enjoyed this. I hope you like this deck. Thanks very much for watching. And this was a really kind gift from the lovely Deanne from Blue Crescent Tarot. So thanks again to Deanne for sending this to me. I really appreciate it. Take care, everyone. I'll hopefully speak to you all soon. Bye bye.